Internet, hello you lovelies, and welcome to the Acolyte season finale discussion. We're going to be doing full spoilers all about the entire season, including the finale, so if you haven't watched it yet, get out of here until you've seen it, because we're going to be diving all the way in, and this is something I don't know a lot about. I am not as versed in Star Wars. If you're new to this page, I am a comic book guy, I'm a movie guy, I'm a comic book movie guy, and I bring news and reviews in those worlds, but I thought it'd be fun to watch something new that has a devout fandom that I'm really casual about. I'm a casual Star Wars fan, and I thought covering this not from this deep knowledge of the Old Republic or the High Republic, not coming from a place of knowing anything except the core movies, it'd be interesting for me to see how the fandom was and to see how I connected or didn't connect to it. And I think that it was a really tricky one to do that with. So full spoilers for the entirety of the Acolyte. This show definitely wasn't geared towards me. I didn't feel nearly as much as I wanted to at any point except for, I think, episode 5. I definitely really liked Qimir, and I really liked the interesting perspectives we had on what the Jedi were, what the Force was, what control was, what all these ideas they started playing with were. But then we got to the point where we'd moved a little further along, and I really was excited for episode 7, because episode 6 brought up a lot of really interesting concepts with Qimir. And then episode 7 was a flashback, and I immediately didn't really care about the elements that it was trying to make me care about. It felt like it was telling me, not showing me. It was getting me to care by going like, you should care. And unfortunately, it didn't work. I feel like the pacing really got messed up by throwing a penultimate episode 7 flashback curveball, because by the time we got to the finale here, I think it was to, instill a sense of mystery reveal, but instead the second to last episode felt like a clip show, and none of the reveals really felt as impactful as I think they were intended. So by the time we got here, I still love Soul, and I think you're supposed to love Soul. I think you're supposed to feel betrayed. I think you're supposed to feel hurt by loving Soul. But I don't feel like I care enough about Osha and Mae, which is really unfortunate, as I should in order to feel that conflict between the choice for Osha to take out Soul. And it's really unfortunate because I've been saying from the beginning, I really like his performance, and I really like the conflict of like his tragedy of the weight he's carried around with him. But then to make him the bad guy in the eyes of the Jedi, to make him a scapegoat, to make Soul, to sully his memory, it doesn't feel like it really makes anyone's life easier, better. I don't understand why they'd not only have the conflict that I think we're meant to feel, is Osha making her decisions. It invalidates all of the ramifications. If Osha is the one who took out Soul, but then they blame Soul, that doesn't really have any impact. And then if Mae's memory is wiped, why was it ever two sisters? One of the mysteries was that they were seemingly the same person, but this finale decided to tell us that they were not sisters. They were just one entity without much explanation, just that it was too powerful, which I get is trying to be a commentary on, like, if something's too powerful, just take it out, and that makes the Jedi the bad guys, or makes Jedi an unwieldy force, a force that needs to be checks and balances, and that's what the Senator, I think, was trying to be, a commentary on. But instead, I don't know why this wasn't a 2-hour movie told in chronological order about this witch coven that introduces the idea of a virgin birth, which I think was Anakin as well, like using the Force to create something. That would have been interesting. I don't know why it had to be twins, because there was no moment where the twin moment was impactful. There was not like a split of one person, or like the two of them interacting never felt like it was that important. I did love the choreography in this episode. I loved the dichotomy between Soul and Qimir fighting, and then going to Mae and Osha fighting. But if this had just been a 2-hour movie, and it was the other birth from the Force, and it was told in order, and Soul still did those things, and we still had the loss of, the Wookiee Jedi, and we still had this great tragedy, and then we got to the present, and Qimir was training someone that got away, was with the Jedi for a time, and then was torn and came back. All of that would work. I don't know why they had to be twins, because I was always way more invested in Osha than Mae. And I always thought it was interesting because they're both played by Amanda Sternberg, and I thought she did a really good job as Osha, but I never really cared about her as Mae. And it would have been more impactful to spend more time with Osha, I think, to make me care about one character instead of 3/4 caring about one character and 1/4 caring about the other. It just never really worked. It never really felt like it had a purpose. And it didn't feel validating at the end. Like the explanation of it was too much power for anyone to wield. Oh, like I maybe it's mythology I don't understand. Maybe there's something I don't know. But if you're a casual viewer, if you're someone just watching a show, I feel like I need to understand and know. So that bothered me. I did enjoy seeing the lightsaber, the Kyber crystal change color. I'm not sure if that's happened before, but it was a really impactful moment to see the corruption in real time, to see the evil, the Sith, the corruption basically chew the thing that makes the power of the lightsaber itself. I thought that was interesting. I've never seen that in anything I've watched of Star Wars. That was a cool moment. But it definitely was a visual representation of something that felt impactful, which I enjoyed. But I don't know why Osha would have made that choice except for because it was written that way. I didn't see anything in her betrayal that she would have felt more towards her mother that she barely knew than Sol, who raised her. Sol would have, like, I don't know why she killed Sol, except for that was the writing. So then when it corrupted her and it turned red, I was just like, oh, well, that's a visual aid to tell me. But I don't feel why she did that. And the staring into the sunset moment, now with Qimir, and I guess that's romantic, the lightsaber handhold, cute. But I never felt any connection between the two of them strong enough. I don't know, it's weird. It's like I would have preferred either a 2-hour movie in chronological order or a 16-episode show with different writing. Like, I would have loved to have seen some actual chemistry between the two of them, or seen something that would have made me believe she'd kill Sol. But instead, it kind of just happened. So there was a lot that just, I don't know, this finale, I was really honestly hoping the finale would validate a lot of my feelings, and I'd be like, oh, I get it, the season, like, I want to rewatch it, I want to experience it, now that I've been told the mystery. The mystery didn't feel like it really landed. The impactful moments felt like they were told and not shown, and I felt like I was being told this is important as opposed to it feeling important. Again, Qimir is probably the only character that I understand where he was coming from, and I like the conflict in me. I like that I don't like feeling that makes sense, because that's what you want. You want a villain to be someone that is causing you to identify and feel inner conflict. I didn't feel that towards Osha, and I wanted to. I didn't feel that towards Sol, and I didn't like any of the Jedi at any point. So it didn't feel like a conflict for them to be betraying Sol's memory because I just didn't like them. That's really unfortunate. I really wanted to like this show. And in the comments, there's always people being mad at me for apologizing for not liking the show. I don't watch things to not like them. That's a weird choice. Like, why would you spend time watching something if not to hope to get positivity out of it? Like, you only have so many hours in the day. Why would you spend it not enjoying your time? And it's an odd thing. So I really wish I'd enjoyed this, and I wish it worked for me. I wish it landed. Overall, thank you. Overall, mail just came to my house. Overall, I really wish the landing was worth the journey. Instead, it just stayed not for me. And overall, I really wish that the characters' motivations felt like they were deserved as opposed to just what drove the story along. And that was up until the last minute with Osha, a character I had been really close to being like, yeah, I get it. And I don't know, this wasn't my kind of Star Wars show, but there's so many Star Wars shows, blissfully. Others are. Andor's my jam. I look forward to Andor Season 2. Since these videos did well, I think I will be covering Andor Season 2, and that is my kind of Star Wars. That is something I really enjoyed. So I'm curious about Qimir. Maybe a Qimir and Osha show will be my jam. For some reason, Mae doesn't have a memory, so I don't know how or why that happened. They might as well have killed her, because, like, I don't know the purpose. I don't know. Maybe the show will land for me better with time, but for now, not my cup of tea, and I'm really glad other people have been enjoying it. I scrolled through Twitter very briefly right after the episode and was like, oh, Darth Plagueis, people are excited. I don't know who that is, because I'm new to Star Wars deep cuts. I know the Solo movie, the Rogue Squadron movie, and the original, the 9, the core, and I've seen, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, all the mainstream stuff of the last 5 years. I really want to be invested in something like a Darth Plagueis, which sounds exciting. But for now, those big moments that people are enjoying, I'm so stoked for them. I wish this was for me. For people that love the witch element and they think Osha and Mae are awesome, hell yeah, I'm glad you got something out of it. Wasn't my cup of tea. And on to the next. I'm not done by any means covering Star Wars. I just acknowledge this one wasn't my jam, and I hope the next one is. We'll see what happens, and I'm sure plenty of people have plenty of hot takes and other sorts of things. The choreography, fantastic. The stunt work and wire work, amazing. That's one consistent the whole show had. Manny Jacinto, I am now always going to watch anything he does. So impressed by him, the guy that played Soul. I am always going to watch anything he does. Him learning English for this role, absolutely incredible. Insane even. And Amanda Sternberg, I loved her Osha stuff. The Mae stuff didn't quite work for me, but I'll definitely be checking her stuff out going forward. So I did get new talent out of this. I did discover new actors that I'm going to follow. The writing just wasn't for me, and the overall story told didn't feel like I wanted it to feel. But it is what it is. I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this show. Let me know if I missed something, like why wiping Mae's memory was a must, why killing Soul and then making him a scapegoat had to happen, why the green Jedi lady felt she had to do that, except for like it's bad to do when we're bad guys. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. I'm sure the comments will say so. Actually, that's not true. The Star Wars comments have been great so far. You guys have overall been amazing. So that is going to do it. I wish I had more to say. I wish I felt more. Unfortunately, I'm kind of neutral, leaning towards negative. So on to the next Star Wars show. On to the next show. Lots of Deadpool stuff coming up this month. Like, subscribe. I promise I usually like more things. This one just wasn't for me. All right, much love.